So for problem number 13, what they want us to do is, it says if x is greater than 3, which is equivalent to this thing here. So I'm going to have to do a bunch of math. Now this one is, I'm going to zoom in because it's going to take a lot of math. I'm going to write this over to the side. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say 1 over the quantity. We'll make this big line here. Remember, whatever I write down, you guys should write down. I've got x plus 2. 1 over x plus 2 plus 1 over x plus 3. Now, what we need is a common denominator. And so, remember, for common denominators, if I have 1 plus 2, or 1 over 2 plus 1 over 3, I can make the common denominator by multiplying the denominators by each other. And remembering, whatever I do on the top, I do on the bottom, right? And so that would give me 3 over 6 plus 3 over... Wait, I screwed up, you guys. You guys got to pay attention. Plus 2 over 6. And then I just add the top all over the bottom, right? 3 plus 2 over the common denominator of 6. Do you guys remember that? Oh, yes, we do. By the way, shout out to Casey's. This video is brought to you by Casey's Fountain Pop. All right. So anyways, so I'm going to do that. I'm looking, and let me explain to you. I'm looking at this thing. These are reduced. So I'm realizing, like, I got to put these two fractions together and then do something with them, okay? So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to multiply this by x plus 3, remembering that whatever I do to the bottom of the fraction, I have to do to the top. And then over here, I'm going to take the bottom, and I'm going to multiply that by x plus 2. Okay, exactly. So on the next line, I've got 1 on the top all over x plus 3 over the quantity x plus 3 times the quantity x plus 2 plus x plus 2 all over the quantity x plus 3 times x plus 2. And you're saying to yourselves, Mr. Adams, that does not look easier. It will get there. So now I need to do a couple of things. First thing I'm going to do is on the next line, I'm going to say 1 over, now in the numerator, I'm going to add the numerator up. I'm going to say x plus 3 plus x plus 2. All over this stuff here. X plus 3 times the quantity x plus 2. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking these two numerators, whatever they are, and adding them up. That's like saying over here, I'm doing it in my head, but isn't 5 3 plus 2? Right? That's 3 plus 2. That's what 5 equals, and that's what I'm doing here. But now, so what I'm adding those up and putting them over the numerator with the common denominator. So I'm going to pause right there. Do you guys see what I did? If you didn't, raise your hand. I'll explain it. I'll go slower. All right. So now let's combine like terms for the numerator there. So I'm going to have in the next line 1 over, I've got 1x here and another x here. What is that? 2x. And then I have 3 plus 2, which is a positive 5. So I've got 1 over 2x plus 5 times all this stuff here. But what I'm going to do is let's just multiply this out. Okay? Because that's going to go under here. So over to the side, I'm going to draw my little grid, and I'm going to figure out what x plus 3 times the quantity x plus 2 actually equals. I'll do the first one. What's x times x? X squared. Okay, you tell me this one. What's 3 times x? Positive 3x. What's 2 times x? Positive 2x. And then what's 3 times 2? Positive 6. Now I'm purposefully saying positive so that way I know I'm going to add some stuff. So this becomes x squared plus 3x plus 2x plus 6. Hey, I got some like terms here. So that whole thing becomes x squared plus 5x plus 6. In other words, if I say x plus 3 times the quantity x plus 2, it equals this stuff. So over here, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put x squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay?
That's an answer.
Well, sort of. So really what I have is I have 1 over this stuff. So I don't know if you guys realize this, but this is a fraction being divided by a fraction, isn't it? I have 1 divided by a fraction. You guys with me on that so far? When I look at the answers, A might be it, but it's not it. It's really B, and let me explain why. Back to numbers over here. If I say 1 divided by 3 over 7, that's the same as saying 1 divided by 3 over 7. How do you divide by a fraction?
Wait, no, don't you turn it into a fraction itself and if multiply?
Yeah, so this would become 1 over 1, but then you would multiply by the reciprocal. So whenever you divide by a fraction, you multiply by the reciprocal. So over here, I'm going to say 1. I'm going to do, let me show you what I'm doing. I'm going to take this 1, and I'm going to write it as a fraction, 1 over 1, right? Isn't that the same as 1? And then I'm going to, instead of dividing, I'm going to multiply that by the reciprocal, which is 2x plus 5 all over x squared plus 5x plus 6. Is that right?
Yeah.
So now on the next line, what's 1 times this stuff? That stuff, right? And what's 1 times this stuff? That stuff. So this is our final last deal answer. Which choice is that?
B.
Exactly.
Egg.
So I'll leave that up there for a second. Let me zoom out so you can, I know I went kind of fast. Let me leave that up there so you guys can finish writing it down.